This is a video involving Zeus. He's a 1-year-old male German Shepherd, unneutered. He just got to the board and train. He has 2 dogs that live with him, but he has never met a new dog. So he's come out for us to work on jumping and nipping and basic obedience, but
Zeus.
they have no idea how he's going to be with the new dog. So we're going to first show you that on video. So in a minute, my dog Prince is going to come out. My dog Prince is also unneutered. He's 18 months old. He comes out and you see Zeus and Prince meet at the fence. There's a lot of ways to do meetings, muzzles, leashes. I prefer generally fence meetings because they're loose and free and they don't have a muzzle on. Little wag from Zeus, right? That's a really good sign. Marking from Prince. The hair is up on Zeus. You can't really see it, but you kind of can. Hair up on his back. Prince also, his hair is up. They look pretty good. Zeus just walks away, right? A great sign. You got to be careful with dogs this big and this strong. Okay, here's a second video. A little more marking. He's on Zeus. Zeus looks good, and I decide to let him out. I haven't seen anything that leads me to believe that Zeus is not going to be good, except the fact that these are 2 large, unneutered dogs. Powerful dogs, and basically you do not want to fight between a big German Shepherd and a big Doberman. They're very strong dogs, but I saw nothing that leads me to believe that they can't meet. So smelling, you can see Zeus's hair is very up on his back, but he looks good. Big happy wag. It's great. Prince keeps walking around marking. Like I was saying, you just need to be careful with big, strong dogs. So, more meeting, happiness. Again, this is the first dog he's met outside of his house. Looks good so far. But we haven't seen they look great, but you can't trust them yet. Okay? When you're working with certain dogs you're unsure of, unneutered males. There's a little wag from Prince. You can barely see it, but that's the first sign of kind of Prince's happiness. If you were to watch this, you would actually be more worried about Prince. Now, I'm not, because I know Prince isn't going to do anything. But based on the body language, Prince is the stiffer one. Prince is the one not wagging as much. Prince is not looking as good, but that's just the way Prince is. He's actually very good. There's a wag from him, big wag from Zeus, all good stuff. Like I was saying, though, we haven't seen the triggers we need to see. So we need to see these dogs. Before I say, okay, you guys are great, be together, without me watching them close, we need to see more. We need to see them play rough. We need to see them in it. Okay, first, smell from Prince. So we weren't totally sure how Zeus would deal with being smelled, but he looked great. That's what you got to see. You got to see all the different stuff. Now they're running around being best friends. You got to see them run. Both these breeds have a prey drive, okay? Which means they'll run and chase and nip at things. You don't want one running after the other and give them too hard of a nip, and then the other one turns around and they go at it, right? Again, big, strong breeds, got to be careful. This is just a little video of them, some posturing, and Prince is all trying to stand tall, but he's on a step lower. Zeus is doing trying to play. It's also kind of some humping-ish behavior, but they look pretty good together. So you got to see all the triggers before you just say, okay, you guys are good. So you got to see them smell each other, which we saw. You have to see them posture over each other. Make sure that doesn't turn into something, right, where their heads go over the other one. That they didn't seem to have a problem with that, the little bit that we saw. I need to see them out down in my pasture running and playing rough, because sometimes that can get rough. Most likely, these 2 dogs are going to be great together. There's very little I can see happening that would cause these 2 dogs to get in a fight. And why are we worried? Well, we're not worried, but they're just big, strong, unneutered males, and there can sometimes be friction between unneutered males. So we just take it kind of slow. I did it relatively fast, faster than, of course, a normal person would, but there really wasn't a problem at all. Also, we didn't know about Zeus. We just didn't know what he would do. But everything he showed us led me to believe that we could take the next step. And that's what you do. You go, okay, you're good through the fence. Let's open that gate, but let's be right on him. Okay, you're good for that. Okay, let's go to the pasture. Okay, good for that. Or go to your yard. Okay, you're good for that. Let's do the next step. And they have to kind of prove themselves at the first step in order to go to the next step. And if they do, you'll keep moving it, putting them together in longer and different environments. So there's your body language video on how to introduce dogs that you aren't sure about.